figure out what this whole deal is with the normal distribution, bell-shaped curve, and these z-values. So these z-values are where we're standardizing our mean to 0, okay? And the reason we want to do that is this gives me probabilities under here, and I could find particular probabilities for any mean as long as I standardize my mean to 0. And that's done by z-values. And you have a nice little formula to do this, where you take your particular data point minus the population mean divided by the population standard deviation. So not a very difficult formula, it's just learning to read this table for the first time for students can be a little tricky. So before we get into this stuff in another video, let's say I just want to learn how to read I just want to learn how to read the z-table. So let's start here with an example and say, what if I had a z of 1.40 and I want to know the probability that I would be, that's a standard deviation. If I standardize my mean, what's the probability I would be 1.40 standard deviations away from the mean? Well, I know 1.4 is somewhere over here. How do I know that? Because values to the left of 0 would be negative, values to the right of 0, positive. So it's just somewhere over here. So I want this area to the right. So how in the world do I find that? Well, I get my nice little z-table. I pick it up and I look at 1.40 and I get 0.9192. So I get 0.9192. However, you have to be careful. What is that value? Is it that area? No. When you look up in the table, it starts at the tail and goes all the way to this value. So that's really this area here. So that area is the 0.9192. Well, I want this area. So how do I find this area over here? Well, if I know all probabilities have to add to what? Uno, right? 1. So I could take 1 and I could subtract this 0.9192. Okay, so remember all probabilities have to add to 1. And if I subtract this, let's see if I can do this higher up subtracting, right? 0. So that becomes 9, that becomes 8, that becomes 9, that becomes 0. And I get this value, 0.0808. So that would be the probability that I would be 1.4 standard deviations or above. If I wanted the probability below, then that would be that value there.